Womansplaining men to women compilations.
So this creator matched with a gentleman on Bumble, they set up a date, and then the night before he sends her this. Hey there, I was excited for tomorrow and did a little pre-date Googling just now and saw your TikTok. Well, I thought some of the videos were funny, others, for example, the one about all men being trash, made me pause and gave me the impression we're not the right partner fit.
Why is it always the subpar motherfuckers that end up ghosting? Like, you show up to the date and you're kind of like, yeah, he's not as good as the profile, but like, we'll work it out. And then the date doesn't go that well, but you're like, well, it was probably first date, I had jitters, he had jitters. It could be better, so we'll try again. And then they have the audacity to ghost you? Like, baby, look in the mirror. How am I dating down and you're ghosting me? Oh yeah, run home and tell your friends you didn't want to go out with the hot girl again.
Oh, he must not have read the signs. See, she is so hot that you have to be this attractive to reject her. Anything lower than this attractive, you're so ugly that you have to do whatever she says. No, but for real, this is really goofy. I'm just getting nice guy, whatever, I didn't want you anyways vibes. Here's the thing. He didn't ghost you because he's subpar. He ghosted you because he could tell that you see him as subpar. If you view a man as less than yourself, he's gonna pick up on that. A man is looking for someone who's gonna see him as an equal, not someone
I, for real, do not like girls like that. You know, the previous one, not this girl, the other one. It's like, you have the audacity to reject me. Look at the mirror. How ugly you are, said things. You know, it's like, dude. Everyone's is equal. No one is like overpowered, superpowers, and there's no such thing as this kind of thing unless you're royalty. You know, everyone's an equal thing. Anyone can reject it. Anyone that is not vibe together with them. Okay, it's totally fine, and you are not like higher of it than anyone else. Even you're pretty, you're idol and shit. No, they're just human. So. Yes. This kind of woman. Red flag. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Anything lower than this attractive, you're so ugly that you have to do whatever she says. No, but for real, this is really goofy. I'm just getting nice guy, whatever, I didn't want you anyways vibes. Here's the thing. He didn't ghost you because he's subpar. He ghosted you because he could tell that you see him as subpar. If you view a man as less than yourself, he's gonna pick up on that. A man is looking for someone who's going to see him as an equal, not someone to idolize, to worship the ground she walks on. Once he finds someone who treats him as an equal, then he will worship the ground she walks on. But he knew you were never going to see him as a king. No one's too hot to get rejected. No one's too hot to get ghosted. And no one's too hot to get out of...
This one, it's actually really good.
No one's too hot to get to worship the ground she walks on. Once he finds someone who treats him as an equal, then he will worship the ground she walks on. But he knew you were never going to see him as a king. No one's too hot.
You can be queenie if you're viewing your other, your other partner as a king. When they are a king, you are the queen as well. If you're only wanting to be queen and your other partner, it's like a slavery for you, do everything for you, and you're not going to do anything for them back, it doesn't make sense, bro. This doesn't work like that.
Hot to get rejected. No one's too hot to get ghosted. And no one's too hot to get out of getting called out for making a post so superficial and entitled. So next time you want to call a guy subpar, make sure you aren't crying over him first. So this creator matched with a gentleman on Bumble, they set up a date, and then the night before he sends her this. Hey there, I was excited for tomorrow and did a little pre-date Googling just now and saw your TikTok. Well, I thought some of the videos were funny, others, for example, the one about all men being trash, made me pause and gave me the impression we're not the right partner fit. To which she, of course, replies, I love when they tell on themselves. The ironic thing about this video is that he isn't the one who told on himself, she is. That's the whole reason he was able to glean enough red flags to call off the date. I think Googling someone before a date is super normal and something you should honestly be expecting at this point. I don't know if you know this, but if you give someone your phone number, there are apps that can generate every single social media that you have off of that. I know it's really popular right now for creators to be making accounts just for the purpose of bad dating stories and criticisms of men like this creator has, but you can't blame guys for not wanting to be that next bad dating story or criticism piece for your content. If he was able to find that page through a very preliminary Bumble search, it is very tied to your identity, by the way. It's not really a radical concept that a man might not want to be publicly associated with a woman who posts things like this. It really is a fascinating timeline to watch women post publicly about how little they think of men, and then have the audacity to literally post where have all the good men gone. Ma'am, they're in hiding, and women like you put them there. Men, by now I'm sure you've learned the number one thing a woman never wants to be to you is your mama. It is known. But ladies, one thing that took me a little bit too long to realize myself is that they also...
He doesn't want you to be his mom either. This is true. If a guy wants you to be his mom, it's a red flag. Manually, I feel like he just wants a mom. He just needs someone who take care of everything for him and shit. And you know that if a guy wants you to be his mom, it's a red flag. Please, we should see your partner as equal and things, not like you're my. Okay, maybe not in bed. I'm not talking about in bed, but not mom, like doing everything and do this and do that. No, it's not how it works. You just need to be there for them, but not like mom nagging and shit. Dude, he doesn't want that, bro. You just need to give him a hug. That's all he needed. Give him a hug, a big kisses, say you love him, and a good job for all the things. It's all enough. Enough all the nagging. I know some of the girls they they want to take care of their partners and things, but it's when overboard, like becoming their mom, nagging here and there. It's too much. No one wants that. Even you yourself don't want it. Imagine that your other half keep nagging on you here and that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. It's like, dude, even my mom don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, bro. That's too much. I know.
Don't want you to be their mother. And it might not feel like it, right? Because he might let you clean up after him. He might let you take over the schedule, right? He definitely wants you to take care of him when he's sick. All things that a mother might do. But that doesn't mean that he wants you to mother him. If there's a Venn diagram between a mother's love and a partner's love, all of the aforementioned examples are going to be in the middle. But I'm telling you, he only wants the partner parts and the middle parts, not the mom parts. And we can't say that's too unlike ourselves. If a person starts providing something, be that cooking, cleaning, paying the bills, we are going to naturally allow that to happen. I mean, if a man takes it upon himself to start paying for the majority of bills and dates and trips, we aren't going to complain about that. But are most men leaving their messes behind with the expectation that you are supposed to pick up after him? No. Nor should you be picking up after him unless, and hard unless, you genuinely want to help him and aren't just pocketing it as resentment fodder for later. Best thing to do to get on the same page and away from the weird Freudian dichotomy is to talk to each other the way parents and children don't. Sit down and take turns laying out what chores you're already doing, because you might not even realize what the other person does. Then talk about chores that still need to be done and divide them out without anybody bossing each other around.
Correct.
Take the time to hear out why a person does or prioritizes things the way they do. And do it over wine and cheese or even tequila shots, because moms and dads don't do that with their kids now, do they? You are lovers. You are lovers who share a home. So no matter how much you annoy each other, put that first when you talk to each other, because trust me, neither of you wants you to be the mom.
Correct. I agree with that.
Ask if he wanted to hang out. And he was like, no, sorry, I can't. I was like, oh my God, what is going on today? Like, no one wants to hang out. You were literally the last person. He got so mad. He was like, what number am I? What number am I? And then I told him 9. And he was so mad. He hung up on me. It was so funny. I love to humble a man.
This is such cope, dude. She literally just got rejected, then made up a fake roster to try to put him down for rejecting her, and she thinks that he's the one getting owned. Like, even if this roster was real, all you're doing is telling him how many times you got rejected before he also rejected you. And why does he need to be humble? Like, what makes him toxic? Because he didn't want to hang out with you? Write this down, boys. Saying no to women is toxic, so don't do that. The comment section is also full of chicks with zero
saying no. Saying, okay, write that down. What makes him toxic?
He didn't want to hang out with you? Write this down, boys. Saying no
to a woman is toxic. Just tell that woman off. Easy, not toxic. All right.
To women is toxic, so Don't do that. The comment section is also full of chicks with zero self-awareness, posting their L's and thinking they're flexing. One time a guy I was on a date with asked when the last time was I hooked up with someone. I was like, you really want to know? Last night. He was in his feels. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure you'd be in your feels too if your date told you he just got done being inside of someone else. It's just not the most attractive thing to hear. A guy asked me what I would be doing if he didn't ask me out. I said, likely having dinner with someone. He was probably just trying to figure out what kind of activities you like to do outside of dating, but yeah, let's just make everything a personal attack. Always ask, why did your barber do that to your hair? Isn't this the same shit that made you guys hate Andrew Tate? This actually is really good dating advice if you only like having first dates. I'm sure there are some groups who appreciate this trend of women being these independent bad bitches who can be mean to men because they don't need them. But most of us just see a bunch of crybabies who got nerfed and are now just desperately trying to make it look like not getting the guy was their goal all along. This is literally the female equivalent to whatever, she was ugly anyway. But at least pickup artists have the decency to admit they're being players. You guys are still trying to make it look like you're doing something good by calling it humbling men, when really you're just being needlessly shitty to them. How about we humble ourselves and be honest by changing the title of this series from How to Humble Toxic Men to How to Stay Chronically Single.
Savage, I loved it.
So counterintuitive, but it's true. Don't do anything for them. I know that sounds so fucked up, especially if you're a giver. Don't do it. It is the worst thing you can do with them.
No.
The second that a man sees that you're willing to give equal to or more than what they're willing to give is the second that they stop valuing you.
What?
Men will never
Wow.
respond to your giving as example setting. They're never going to go, oh wow, she bends over backwards and goes out of her way for me, so I'm going to do that too. That's not how they work.
Never. So that advice was, not good. This is exactly like when male pickup artists tell each other to neg women. If you don't know what negging is because you are an innocent angel, it is basically when you speak so negatively to a woman that you damage her self-esteem enough to potentially give you a chance based purely out of duress. I'm not joking, and no, it doesn't actually work on anyone. That doesn't stop her from trying, though.
There's only one reason why a man in a heterosexual relationship will not initiate sex with his woman. One reason only. Low self-confidence.
Well, isn't that convenient? The only thing that could possibly stop a man from begging for you is if he hates himself. But sadly, this is a thing that toxic people, actually believe. The last time I posted something about treating men well on Instagram, I got all kinds of comments like these. This is when their confidence boosts and they start cheating. So I guess the whole idea behind this is they will not feel secure in their relationship unless their partner feels completely insecure. And if that concept makes any sense to you, I'm sorry for whatever you went through that makes you feel the need to control other people, but I feel the need to warn you, this little playbook has the shelf life of an ice cube. Look, we're done with pigeon mail, okay? This whole she's hard to get but she's cute thing might last 2 weeks tops in this day and age. But once he realizes that you aren't doing anything for him, he's initiating everything. You don't plan anything. You don't engage with him. You don't even text first. Why in the world would he stick around? If you aren't doing anything for him, what is the point of you being in his life? Now, a level with you here, I do agree that leading by example doesn't work. Me scrubbing the baseboards is not going to inspire my husband to scrub the baseboards, just like my husband installing a new sink is not going to inspire me to install a new sink. But refusing to do anything for a person because of the chance that you might not get anything out of it, and then expecting to retain a higher value because of your lack of effort is actually even more delusional. And look, you don't have...
I don't understand people with this kind of thinking where, you know, oh, I did something for them. Oh, and they should do something for you again, you know. It's like when you did something for them and you're asking for something back. It's like dude, you're not genuinely actually, you know, helping and things. You're just wanting something back. It's not healthy. It's really not healthy at all.
Have to do anything for men, okay? You can keep going on and never take the chance of getting taken advantage of. But everyone who has ever loved and been loved has had to risk being taken advantage of, has had to risk doing selfless things with no reward. And if you don't want to risk it, that's fine. But whatever it is you're trying to have with men, don't call it a relationship, because what you want is one-sided. Okay, so I did not realize until I was married, but there is a secret measuring tool that men use that might help you out someday, and I will tell you about it through a story time. It's me, a brand new mom. I just had my daughter, and TJ at the store, and I realized, like, man, I need some new nursing bras, but I have no idea what size I am because they've changed so much. My husband goes, hold up, I got this. Proceeds to walk up to them and just
Grab it.
every single one until finally he goes,
Okay, this one.
and he was right. It was perfect.
I maybe should ask Yuhi to help me with that. To get the perfect size. Man, teach me. How do you guys do that? By touching and knowing the size. That's a very impressive talent.